Welcome back. All right, so next up, Minnesota. So you guys will notice that I'm wearing the same that I was in the Boston video because I'm recording this right after. Again, I'm recording this July 17th, so this is well out before the video is going to go live on the channel. If all these jerseys are out of date by the time this video goes live, or if I magically end up with like a million more jerseys between now and then, I apologize. These videos are going to be out of date. All right, so we'll start with where Minnesota started. And I talked in the Boston video about how they had the stripes down the sleeves, and here's another example. Plus, the very comfy neckline, which Reebok would change into the strangulation neckline, but we'll get into that. This is really something that if you wear this without a shirt underneath, which I've done, you have to be comfortable with, if you're a man, chest hair. And yeah, and I always was, but then I started making YouTube videos and was told that wasn't acceptable. So at any rate, yeah, the weird thing with this one to me always was the fact that it's a green logo on a green background, and yet for some reason I really liked it. I remember the first time I saw this logo, I was like, that's fantastic. I love the star for the eye, and it looks great. So the one interesting thing, of course, is that logo on the shoulder. That's what they used for promo materials before the team came into the league. And for a while there, I was like, so did they not know what a wild is? And of course, they would come out with a great logo not too long after. I should have done the Iowa first, but I'm going to do the Iowa last, I think. Also, just as a random, how's a Houston Aeros jersey grab you? So the interesting thing, of course, is this is Minnesota Wild. They're I believe this was AHL. I don't think it was ECHL. I believe it was AHL. At least that's what the listing said on eBay. Now, since this was an eBay listing through Jersey Baron, it looks great. So why don't I wear it? It's a size 54. I wear a size 46. So this doesn't work for me. But I love the logo. I think the logo is fantastic. If Houston came into the league and used that as their logo, I think people would be quite happy. All right. So that being said, moving on. I should do the Iowa ones next, shouldn't I? It is interesting because it's not just the Wild that I have Iowa jerseys for. I have Dallas Stars, Iowa Stars jerseys as well. So I guess Iowa just likes to be affiliated with teams that wear green, I guess. All right, so these are my two Iowa Wild jerseys, not counting all the other Iowa that I have. And there's a nice Iowa Wild jersey they have on the AHL store that's this color, the cream color. Really nice, but I like this quite a bit. I think this is a fun design that's a little bit different from the parent club, but not so different that it's not as similar as some jerseys are to the original. Like that Houston Aeros is basically just the Minnesota Wild jersey with a different logo on the front, right? All right, so here's my Minnesota Wild wordmark jersey. I was never a huge fan of this jersey, but I like the green. I really like the green, and it's odd, right? I don't know what kind of jersey fell this qualifies as, right? Because I got it from him. I have to say that when people actually get the accent on Bublé's name, good for them. But that's where I got this from. So, because why would I order it and put somebody else's name? That'd be weird. So, anyways. Yeah, that one there, which means that when I got this one, my wife got my other blank. So it worked out well for both of us. All right, so that's done. This is their stadium jersey. Absolutely love the stadium jersey. Of course, the numbers are ridiculous size because stadium jersey. It is interesting how they make the numbers that big when I don't think you can see it in the stadium anyways. You guys can let me know if you can, but pretty sure they can't from that distance. Alrighty. Now, this is Reebok. This is Reebok as well. So this is the strangling neckline. This is where the neckline becomes there's no give in this. So if your head doesn't fit through here or has a hard time fitting through here, which spoiler alert, mine does, you can hear a stitch pop here and there when you put on these jerseys. So that's why I generally don't use these jerseys very much for videos. But yeah, the interesting thing is this shoulder patch here is why I ordered it, and I actually ordered it from a subscriber as well. And the interesting thing is that it was actually the jersey patch on the shoulder that caused me to go looking for it, because I saw this when I did an image search for Zach Parise, and I was like, I don't have that jersey. So this is my latest edition for the Minnesota Wild, and thankfully it didn't cost me very much because the guy selling it on eBay, he found it at Goodwill or something along those lines. So yeah, it works. Add it to the collection, and it fills in. I think that's the only one I didn't have from the Minnesota Wild because of course I have this one. I actually have a couple of these. I got the one with Parisi on the back because I figured, well, Parisi's never going anywhere. Yeah, that's why you get jerseys with a name on the back of somebody that played like 20, 30 years ago, and the people are like, hey, that's cool. Where'd you get that? That's great. It's a little trick I've learned over the last few years. Get the jerseys of people that played on the team a long time ago. All right, so yeah, let's do the current home and away now, which I think is perfect. So I did Boston moments before this. I think Boston has the perfect home and away. I would say the same of the Minnesota Wild. I think this is the best look they've had of all their looks. I like the M on the shoulders as well. It is interesting that you have the M on the shoulder there, Minnesota Wild on the shoulder the other. Allergies. All right. But yeah, you've got the M on one shoulder and Minnesota Wild on the other. You have a yoke on one shoulder and not on the other. You have the stripe that goes around, but still it works. Even though they don't really match each other in their design, but I guess that might be part of where that Montreal thing comes from, where when they came up with this, people are like, oh, look, they went with the Montreal stripe. It's a similar idea for sure. All right, the Winter Classic. And I know there's a lot of people that think this one's kind of ugly or busy. I think it's nice. I do. Would I rank it as highly as some of the others? No. But however, this is a nice jersey in its own right, and I'm glad I have it. This is one that became very hard to find very quickly after it was released. I even have a hat that matches that. And then the reverse retros. So the possibility exists. Like I know that they are keeping this one as their third jersey. The possibility always exists that the Minnesota Wild say, hey, would anybody really care if we went back to original colors? To which the Dallas Stars would say, nah, go for it. And that could always happen. So let me know your thoughts. And would you like to see Minnesota go back to their original colors? Because you just double check. Yeah, I got everything. This is a little bit easier than Boston. It's not quite as just filled as Boston is when it comes to just the jerseys and the racks and all that. But there you go. The Minnesota portion of my collection. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.